Hi everyone, it's Rena. Today I have a double slider card tutorial for you. I think that you'll really enjoy it. I have been wanting to make a double slider card for the longest time, but I've been really intimidated by some of the tutorials, but I have got it down and I think that I made it very easy for you to follow. So I hope that you'll try it, and if you're in my VIP group, I definitely want to see your projects. I do also have a tutorial for next week that is a double slider card as well, but it's a little different and you'll be able to see the version of that one at the end of this video. If you're not in my VIP group, I would love for you to join. I will include a link below, and as always I will upload the PDF instructions in my VIP group as well. Thanks so much for stopping by. This is the card that we're making today. It is a double slider card. I added a ribbon pull on mine, but you can definitely add a little tab so that it would be a little tag, and it just opens up like this. And on this side I added a little sentiment, and it says Happy Holidays, and it has a little stocking and a little ornament. And on this side I added a little present, and then I also included a little tag, and there is enough space in there for a gift card, and then it just closes right back up. I didn't decorate the back, but if you want to, you definitely could. One thing I will say is make sure that if you're adding any kind of embellishing over here, all of these pieces are going to have to lay completely flat, or it could affect the mechanism. The same thing with my little sequins over here. If I'm not careful, that could affect the mechanism also, so you're going to want to make sure that you pay attention to those things when you're embellishing. This is the other one that I made. Same exact thing, except this time I didn't add a pocket. I just added a little spot for a little journaling card and a little message, and I added a bigger bow. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your 5.5 by 11.5 base piece of cardstock, and you're going to score that, and you're going to start by scoring this at 3.5, 7 1/8, and 10 3/4. So that was at 3.5, 7 1/8, and 10 3/4. And now you're going to fold on your score lines. You're going to start with your short little piece over here. You're going to start by scoring a valley fold, and make sure you burnish. And then you're going to score another valley fold, and you're going to burnish. And then this little flap, you're going to do a valley fold over the other two pieces. This is basically going to be the base of your card. I like to seal my card like this, and then I just put my decorative paper over. If you want to seal your card like this with this little piece on the inside, you definitely can. You just have to be careful with the plastic and the tags if you close it this way, but it's completely up to you. So this is the base of your card, and now what you're going to do is you're going to take your piece of plastic, and mine is 1 3/4 by 12 inches, and this is actually just a Ziploc bag. You can use any kind of plastic you want to use. You just want to make sure that it's sturdy plastic. The way that I kind of gauge that is if I can cut it on my paper cutter and it holds up and it doesn't shred, then it's pretty sturdy. And I've also used some of those reusable bags from my grocery store. Those work well also. So now what you're going to do is you're going to wrap your plastic around this last piece, not the piece that has the smallest little score line, but this last piece over here. And all you're going to do is you're going to take this piece and you're going to tape it together. And you're not going to want to do it too tight. You're going to want to have it a little snug, but not too much, because you want it to have some room. So you're just going to apply some score tape right here, and then stick this piece on top, and then you're just going to cut off whatever excess is left. So I'm going to take my score tape and I'm just going to add it onto the plastic. Make sure that you don't add it onto your card base. And I'm just going to burnish that. And then I'm going to take off the backing. And you'll want to be careful here because you don't want to take the tape off at the same time. Now I'm just going to lay this one on top and burnish. And I didn't tape it too tight because I wanted to have a little bit of give. And I'm just going to cut off this little excess piece right here. That I don't need. Okay. So now you're going to want to slide this little seam right here all the way down here to the bottom. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to attach our tags. These are our tags. But before you attach your tags on here, you're going to want to layer them with whatever paper that you're going to layer them with. And if you're going to add a pocket, you're going to want to add the pocket first. So for one of my tags, I'm just going to have designer paper. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on now. And for my other tag, I'm going to go ahead and make my pocket. And so to make my pocket, I need a piece of cardstock that measures 3.5 by 4 1/4. And I'm going to score this to make my pocket. And so this one I'm going to score at 1/2 inch. And I'm going to rotate it around and just score at 1/2 inch. And then rotate this way and score at 3. So this was 1/2 inch, and then this is 3 3/4, and then this was 3. And this is just going to make our little pocket for our gift card or our tag. And now you're going to add score tape all the way around. And you're going to want to burnish down that score tape. And then you're going to miter your edges or miter your corners. And then you will create your little pocket. And then you're just going to stick this on right here at the edge of your tag, your slider tag. Okay, and then burnish that down. So now you have your pocket. So now before you adhere it over here, you want to go ahead and add your designer paper as well. And then you're going to add your designer paper in here. So now we can go ahead and add our tags to our slider card. So what you're going to want to do is on this side where you have your seam, your short little score line is on this side, you're going to add score tape down here at the bottom. Okay, so on this side you add score tape at the bottom, and then you're going to close it, and on this side you're going to add score tape at the top. And make sure you only add it to the plastic, don't add it to the card. And then make sure that you burnish down both of those pieces of score tape you added. And now what we're going to do is we're going to add our cards. On this side where your score tape is at the bottom, you're going to add your card facing up, just like this, with your designer paper facing up. And you're going to want to center your card because it is a little bit smaller than the base, so make sure that you center it right here. But again, your score tape is down here at the bottom, and you're going to adhere this with the designer paper facing up. And burnish that down. And now on the back side where your score tape is on the top, you are going to adhere your next tag with the designer paper facing down. Now your pocket is right here, so make sure when you adhere it, you don't adhere the top down, because then your pocket is going to be backwards. So if you add a pocket, make sure that the pocket side is the side that adheres to this top tape, okay? So this side we adhered the designer paper facing up, and this side we're adhering the designer paper facing down. The other thing you want to be cognizant of is your patterns. So mine, all my little birds go a bazillion different ways, so it's okay. But if you have a pattern where, let's say you have Christmas trees and they're all facing this way, you want to make sure that you adhere all the Christmas trees facing this way as well. So just make sure that you're cognizant of your paper as well when you're adhering your tags. So now I'm just going to go ahead and take off the backing of my score tape, and I'm going to adhere this piece right here. And so then I would just close this and add my score tape. But before I add my score tape, I just want you to see that this already opens and closes. Okay? And you see your pocket over here? Now, you could definitely turn it this way, which is what I'm going to do, and have my pocket be on this side. So that way, to me, it feels a little odd on this side, but it's completely up to you. So now all you're going to do is you're going to add some score tape here and close it, or if you want to add score tape here and close it this way, you can, so it'll close just like that. But you just have to be careful when you add your score tape and close it this way that you don't interfere with the mechanism, okay? But I like to add my score tape here since I'm going to add designer paper. To me, it doesn't really, I don't really mind the little seam there. But if the seam bothers you, then you can definitely add it the other way. So I'm just going to burnish this down. And I'm just going to close that up and burnish it again. And so here is my slider. And now I'm just going to add my first layer on the top. Okay, and really that's it. That's the base of your card. So the next thing you would do is you could either add a little hole punch here and then add a ribbon for your pool, or you could add a little tab for your pool. Completely up to you. If you wanted to do both pockets on both sides, you definitely could. And then you just embellish the front however you want to embellish it. The other thing I wanted to show you, now that this double slider is finished, is the project for next week. This is another double slider card, and it's got a little inside just like a regular card. The pool is up here though, and it opens like this. So I have a little pumpkin pie right here, and then down here I have a gobble till you wobble, and then I have my turkey in the center. So it's exactly the same, except I did my pool the opposite way and I added a card base. So this will be the tutorial for next week. Thanks so much for joining me.